everybody, welcome into Farm Cooking with Nan. Today we're going to be making a crock pot meatloaf. This one's a little different than my regular meatloaf. I've never tried this before, so it's going to be an experiment for both of us. Sounds like it's got some good ingredients, and so I felt like me and Pop would really like that. I've got 2 pounds of, my meat was frozen from our 2 pounds of hamburger meat from our cows, which are Scottish Highland cows, and I've had them soaking in some warm water to thaw them. I like to thaw them that way, bring them up a little bit at a time. So I've got 2 pounds there. I'm going to put in 2 eggs. 2 eggs. Oh, mercy. Let me grab this. And then I'm going to put in about, let's see, I've got 1 large onion, and it was a large one. Came to 1.5 cups of onion. You can use as little or, you know, as you want to. Now, this recipe that I'm trying out did not call for bell peppers or any kind of peppers, but you know what? I just can't imagine me having a meatloaf without them. So, whoops. Hang on a minute. Oh, yeah. I don't know what I've got caught in there all at once. What in the world's going on? Huh. Don't know what's happening there. I normally don't have any trouble at all with my chopper. Something about that red bell pepper. I'm putting in 1/2 of a green bell pepper, and I'm putting in a little bit less, maybe 1/4 of a red bell pepper. I'm gonna turn that over that way and see if that works. Yeah. It was just that skin. I have no problem. Look at this. You can just pull this off when you're cleaning it, and all that goes to whatever you're cooking. So, like I said, about 1/2 of a green bell pepper and about, I guess both of those, well, and about 1/4 of a red bell pepper is what that I put in there. Now, if you want to use just 1/2 of an onion or a small onion, you can do that. But we like onion, and I think it flavors the meatloaf so good. So, I'm going to put that over there too to be washed. And then I'm going to put a little bit of seasoning. Let's see. This is one. I need a tablespoon, but I don't. There it is. Fell off to the side. Hang on a minute. I'm going to put 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. If you want to use fresh garlic, you can, but this recipe calls for garlic powder. And then I'm going to put a tablespoon of parsley. Yeah. And then I'm going to put in about 1/4 of a cup of ketchup. And I'm going to put in about, let's see, let me double check my recipe here. It's 1/4 or 1/2 one. Let me double check it. 1/4 a cup of heavy whipping cream. If you just want to use regular milk, you can, but I like the heavy whipping cream. Oh, then we're going to put in 2 packets. What I have is, it's called, it's Recipe Secrets by Beefy Onion. I'll show you. I bought this for this recipe. I know I'm going to have some people that'll pitch a fit and say, you're using something out of an envelope. well, don't make this then, okay? Just don't make it, or just move on down the road to another cook, because every once in a while I like to use these. 2 of those. Okay. So far we got 2 pounds of ground hamburger. We got 2 eggs, 2 packets of Lipton beefy onion soup packets, and we got 1 large onion chopped. You can vary that, you know, if you want less or whatever, or, you know, just leave it out since you're going to probably get some of that beefy onion stuff in your packets. And 1/4 a cup of ketchup, and 1/4 a cup of heavy whipping cream, 1 tablespoon of garlic powder, and I think I looked at that wrong. Instead of 1 tablespoon of parsley, let's put 2 heaping tablespoons of parsley, okay? And then we're going to, my hands have been washed. I'm just going to set that there, and I'm going to work this in together. If you want to put on a pair of gloves, you can. There's one more thing I forgot to put in there. I thought, well, it's a little liquidy. I know why it's a little liquidy, because I've got to put my crackers in there. You can use breadcrumbs, or you can use crackers, whatever you've got. Let me wash my hands and we'll be right back. Okay, I've got 2 of these small sleeves of Ritz crackers, and I'm going to use those. Let me cut off the top. Now, if you want to use some breadcrumbs, you can use breadcrumbs. I just went back and forth thinking, well, you know, I want to mash these first, you know, mash them, and then all you have to do is just take your hands. This equals to about, let's see, 1 cup of Ritz crackers is what it equals to. So if you're measuring this from you're going to use the breadcrumbs instead, then measure out about 1 cup. Okay. Get that off there. Now, we're going to mix this up. I don't know if y'all have ever done a meatloaf in the crock pot. You know, as much as I love the crock pot, I've never done a meatloaf in the crock pot. So this is my first one. I like the idea of putting it in there and letting it go. You know, if you've got something else to do, just set it and forget it. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. You know, think about making this in the crock pot, and you think to yourself, well, how am I going to get that thing out? This is how we're going to get it. I'm going to put double aluminum foil, okay? We're going to take our crock pot. Mine is so stained over the years. I've had this thing for so many years. I'm going to put this down in there, bring it up the side so it gives me a place to get a hold of whenever I'm removing it from the crock pot. And another thing is, you know, sometimes meatloaf you have to drain the juices off of it. You can lift this out and drain it and then lay it down, cut it, be ready to go. Now, I'm going to pour my meatloaf. Whew, if I can lift that. When I lift that, it makes my back. Ooh, mercy. Okay. Love how it comes out real simply. Now I'm going to create a nice little well-rounded meatloaf in here. Now, if you want to cut this recipe in half, I think you sure can. You sure can. I'm just going to sort of shape it into a round or oval position. I like, which I've never done it in a, like I said, I've never done it in a crock pot before, but I like to do a little opening right through the center. I feel like it makes it get done quicker, and it makes sure that the middle of your meatloaf is done. So I'm going to turn this on. It calls for low, let me see, to cook it on low, 6 hours. Well, I don't have 6 hours, so I'm going to cook mine on high, and I'll let you know how long that I'll leave it in there. It's different for each crock pot. Y'all know that because each crock pot, it heats different. It heats different, and so each crock pot is different. But I'm going to pop that down in there as soon as I wash my hands and get my topping on there, okay? I'm going to put a glaze on there. We don't like meatloaf without a glaze. I know some of y'all do. And so that's all right. That's all right. It's to each their own. But I'm going to make up the glaze to go on there. So let me grab my stuff and I'll be right back. We're going to make our glaze to go on our meatloaf. I've got about a half a cup, packed half a cup of brown sugar. And I'm going to put about a half a cup of ketchup in there. See if that's enough. And I'm going to put just maybe a tablespoon of Worcestershire or Worcestershire sauce. Whoops. I have lately my brown sugar has been getting clumpy. That's why I got a fork out to mix this up with. I love a good brown sugar. You can use barbecue sauce. If you don't want to use ketchup, use barbecue sauce. I'm just sort of going along with the recipe. That I found, and I want to get all those lumps out of there. It works on your fingers. Now I'm going to get all this brown sugar that popped out of there back in here. Don't want to waste it. Whew. I'm going to make sure, just give that a second. That ketchup will dissolve quite a bit of that. Stuff. Now we're just going to pour it onto our meatloaf. Look how pretty that is. Like I said, I make the little divider. My mama did that. And I'm just going to rub that all over. I'll show you in a minute. Just want to put that all over your meatloaf. And if you like more, put more. I did add a little bit more brown sugar to the recipe and probably use just a little bit more ketchup than the recipe called for. because the recipe called for a 1/2 cup each. And I'll just tell you, I think it needed more than that. Because 2 pounds of meat. Now remember, I'm all the time making something with leftover meatloaf. I'm making soups, I'm making sandwiches, I'm making all kinds of stuff. So if you say, well, I don't need 2 pounds, you know, then don't do 2 pounds for sure, you know. But if you make extra, and this is what you're going to get. You're going to get something to, see, and you think just scraping that's not much. Look how much is in that. No use in wasting. Drives me crazy to see somebody opening up a can and just shaking it out and not doing nothing else. Listen, that's wasting. Shame on you. You know, foods may come to the point where you can't get food anymore. You better not be wasteful. Yes, I'm fussing at yous. I know so many of yous that do scrape your bowls, and I'm so tickled that you do. I'm so tickled. I'm gonna get my aluminum foil pressed up against the side to make sure it's up above this. And looky there. We're ready to go into the crock pot, and I'm just going to put my lid on. I've already got it to turn this like this so that it won't bother with my lid. And I'm going to put my old lid on there, and I'm going to pop it in there, and I'm going to start it. I've already got my crock pot holder heating up on high, so it's ready for this to be popped in. Now, I would say if it's low for 6 hours, it's probably high for about 3. So I'm going to start checking it in about 2 to 3 hours and see what I've got, okay? And we'll be back. Okay, got my meatloaf out. Want to show you. I picked it up with 2 pot holders, took it to my sink, and I drained any kind of juices that came out of it. Drained those off, set it down on here, and held this here and pulled my aluminum foil right out from under it. I didn't video it because I'm just going to tell you, I didn't know if I could do it or not. This is my first little thing here. Hang on a minute, I don't want to put that on there. I'll just put a little, I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to slice a slice here. And then I will store it in, there it is. I will store it in an airtight container and use it for sandwiches or whatever. I'm going to take a little bite. Ooh, I've still got food cooking. Still got a casserole in the oven. Ooh, I'm just a-jerking. Lord, thank you for this food. It's awful good, Lord, and I thank you for it in Jesus' name. Amen. Excuse me. Oh, my. Let me grab just a drink of water. Oh, my, sorry. Oh. I feel like my blood sugar's dropping. Maybe that's what it is. I've got the jerks. But this is a very good meatloaf. Very good. Very good. I hope y'all get a chance to make one. This would be a great meal if you have to take to a potluck and you want to keep it warm. Just turn off your, after you drain it, put your aluminum foil right back down in there and let it stay warm wherever you take it to. Just turn it on when you get there, your crock pot on, and just put it on low and let it stay warm for a little while for you. Well, listen, I'm going to go. This is a really good meatloaf. Hope and pray that y'all get a chance to make you one. If you don't like the green bell peppers, don't put them in there. Or if you just want to cut up maybe an extra onion and leave out the beefy onion soup, and you don't want to use the envelopes, don't use them. I just wanted to try it and see what it was like. It's really a good meatloaf. Pop's going to like it. And so I hope y'all make yourself one, and I hope you enjoy it and feed your family with it. Well, I'm going to go. Just want you to know I love y'all and appreciate the prayers so very much. I can feel them. I can feel them, and I just want to thank you all. And I will talk to you next time. Don't ever forget, young'uns, that the good Lord loves you so very much. I love y'all. Last night I sat down and I thought I can feel the prayers, because normally I can't sit, I can't lay, I can't roll or anything with my back. But last night I was able to sit down and it to ease up to where I could just be real still. I didn't sleep in the bed. I got in the bed and tried to sleep, but the pain is just so bad no matter which way I roll or lay or whatever. I'm in such misery that I have to get up and get to the recliner and lean back a little bit to where I could find a place where I could doze off. But I could feel the prayers, young'uns. I really could. And I appreciate y'all so very much. I love yous. And I want you to know how much the good Lord loves you. I thank you for your prayers. And I thank him for nudging your heart to pray for me. I will see you next time, Lord willing. And maybe we'll get another recipe done. Or we might go out on the farm or do something different. You never know. I'll see y'all then, okay? Bye-bye.